I wish to discuss something kind of personal here with me. I read this particular gospel according to John, and paraphrasing it, the Jews were having a feast in Jerusalem, and there was this ill man who's been ill for like 38 years or so, and they were at the pool at what they called the Sheep's Gate, and there was a pool for healing. Jesus came by and said to him, "Do you not want to get well?" The man said, "Yes, I do." He says, "But every time that the pool whirls up and I'm going to get into the pool, someone gets there before me." And on it goes. Jesus directed him and stated, "Get up, take your mat, and walk." Well, the priests that were there were very indignant about all of this because it was the Sabbath. And they questioned the man as to who made you well. He says, "I don't know his name. He disappeared into the crowd." Later on, Jesus came across the man, and he introduced himself, obviously. And the man returned back to the Jews and stated that it was Jesus who was the one that made me well. This brings me to a letter. And it states, the title of the letter, and it's of the meditation for the day, "Do you not want to be well?" And it's a letter from a gentleman, I guess, by the name of Jacques Fesch. He was a prisoner in a French prison back in 1957, who wrote a letter to his younger brother, I believe. And he was convicted of murder, but he wrote this letter to his brother. "Do you want to be well? Dear little brother, I received your last letter, which is kindness of itself. Yes, you see, Jesus not waiting for me to persevere, to give me the fullness of his love. He came at once at my first sincere appeal to relieve me of my burden. For 10 days now, I have been living in another world." I would take it as being prison and meditation and the like. "And I feel that my time of tepidity is far, far away. There is little enough time left for me to try to love him as I ought. It is not I who loves Jesus. It is Jesus who loves me. I am conscious of my total powerlessness and my misery as always. Also, I have to keep calling for help all the time, and like a generous father, the Lord strengthens me, fills me with powerful graces, and marks off my way of the cross with fragrant shrines which make me long to hasten to him. I believe in his love, but my human confidence, which I should like to be total, is still very weak. I ought to give him everything, and I want to achieve this." That was the letter that Jacques Fesch wrote to his brother. On a personal note, this past year, I have undergone cancer and treatment for it. I had time to reflect. Jacques wrote he had 10 days. Well, I happened to be in the hospital for 10 days after my surgery. And I was staring out the window at the hospital one particular day and asking, "God, please give me the strength to get through this. I I know I didn't deserve it. I'm anything but perfect. Boy, if any of you know me, you know that. I clown around a lot. A lot of people don't seem to think that I take things seriously. But when it comes to Jesus Christ, I am definitely serious. At that moment, I happened to turn towards the interior of my room. And the breath of life came right around me. I was taken by it. I actually lost my breath. So was that. And I made a commitment. God, please help me. I'm asking for help. And I'm weak. I knew that I was weak, not just physically, spiritually. I was void at the moment. First thing I did was call for a priest. And one came up. I had a nice talk with him. It was nice. And I continue on a daily basis now, every single morning, to ask God, please help me. And oh yes, I want to be well, not just physically, more importantly, spiritually. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. God bless.
Buenos días, queridos hermanos y hermanas en Cristo. Les saluda Padre Carlos de la Parroquia de la Asunción. El día de hoy en el Evangelio Jesús se va a la piscina de Bethesda, en donde había muchos cojos, ciegos, paralíticos, esperando meterse en esta piscina para poder ser sanados. Y Jesús se encuentra con un hombre que tenía enfermo más de 30 años y estaba siempre al lado de la piscina esperando poder entrar para poder curarse, pero nadie lo ayudaba a entrarse. Entonces Jesús, por estar ahí, con una sola palabra, lo sana a este hombre. Le dice, levántate, toma tu camilla y vete a tu casa. Lo importante también de esta situación o de este hombre es que primeramente nosotros no sabemos cuál es la enfermedad, no sabemos qué es lo que está padeciendo este hombre. Pero sin embargo, a pesar de su enfermedad, de tener más de 30 años con esta condición, él siempre regresaba a la piscina. Siempre regresaba para que algún día, él tenía la esperanza de que algún día él podría llegar hacia esa piscina, hacia esa agua y poder ser sanado de su enfermedad. 30 años, imagínense, con una condición, pero él aún así no perdía su esperanza, no perdía su confianza de que iba a llegar el momento en el que él podía llegar a esas aguas y ser sanados. Esa muchas veces es la misma esperanza que nosotros necesitamos. ¿Cuántas veces, cuántos años, cuántos días nosotros nos hemos estado pidiendo para que una petición se nos cumpla a cada uno de nosotros? Así que nosotros somos de esas personas, no desesperemos, perseveremos, seamos fieles a nuestro Señor, seamos personas que le demuestran siempre que queremos seguir caminando con Él y esperamos que esa gracia, que ese amor que Él nos quiere dar llegue cuando Él lo tenga designado. Pero sobre todo no perdamos la fe y sigamos siempre cerca de nuestro Señor Jesús. Que el Señor los bendiga.